Engines roared as the Vigilant sliced through the void, stars streaking past like shards of light. Captain Lena Miles stood at the bridge, eyes fixed on the peaceful orb ahead, the homeworld of the Kalari. They had no weapons, no defenses, only strange, shimmering bioforms drifting in their skies. Humanity was divided, aid or ignore. Suddenly, a sharp alert shattered the calm. "Unknown fleet detected, bearing down fast," the tactical officer announced. The void burned with the threat of war. Political factions in Earth's council demanded withdrawal, fearing economic collapse. But Captain Miles felt a deeper call, to protect the vulnerable no matter the cost. Her voice steady, she ordered, "Hold position. Prepare diplomatic comms." The galaxy watched as humanity's fleet stood between war and mercy. This was the moment everything would change. Either a storm of fire and steel or a fragile chance for peace. A shimmering vessel descended, Kalari emissaries emerging like living light. Their leader, soft-spoken and radiant, extended a pulsating orb. "A gift," they said, "to heal what is broken." Skepticism rippled through the fleet. Could this biotech be a weapon or salvation? Captain Miles watched as medics cautiously tested the orb. Wounds closed, fevers vanished, and life returned with unnatural speed. News spread. The Kalari's biotechnology was revolutionary. Earth's economy teetered as pharmaceutical giants panicked, but citizens rejoiced. The council convened, torn between greed and hope. Miles knew this was no ordinary ally. It was a key to humanity's survival. Yet shadows loomed. Rival powers whispered threats and unseen forces plotted to seize the Kalari's secrets. Nightfall cloaked Earth's capital in uneasy silence. Miles met with Ambassador Rel, a hawkish voice urging caution. "We cannot afford to appear weak. The Kalari's gifts disrupt entire industries. This breeds enemies." Suddenly, a breach. Cyber attacks crippled communications, spreading chaos. "Sabotage," Miles whispered, heart-pounding. The enemy wanted war, to stop the tide of change before it began. Her crew scrambled to defend the fragile alliance. In the depths of space, hidden fleets moved like ghosts. The Kalari remained peaceful, but their presence ignited a powder keg. Captain Miles faced an impossible choice: protect a gentle race or prepare for a war that could devour worlds. Fields once barren bloomed overnight under Kalari bioagriculture. Crops grew with healing properties, feeding millions. The void's cold cruelty softened by radiant life. Miles walked through the thriving farms, awe mixing with unease. Whispers of rebellion stirred. Economic titans lost fortunes, while desperate masses gained hope. The Kalari's gifts were a revolution disguised as charity. But revolution breeds chaos. Protests erupted in human cities. Miles stood before her crew, voice resolute. "We protect them, not just for their gifts, but for the future they represent." The stars awaited her command, balanced on the knife's edge between salvation and destruction. Radar flared red as hostile warships emerged from the void. Engines roared, weapons charged, a storm of fire and steel descended upon the Kalari sanctuary. "Brace for impact," Miles shouted, gripping the command rail. Lasers streaked through space, exploding in cascades of light. Miles's fleet formed a shield, a wall of steel around the innocent. The void burned with battle cries and desperate hope. In the chaos, the Kalari remained silent, their technology pulsing quietly beneath the surface, ready to change the course of war and peace alike. Miles knew this battle would define humanity's soul. From within the human alliance, a destroyer turned its guns inward. Admiral Kor's fleet, once loyal, opened fire on Vigilant. "They've sided with Earth's corporations," Miles muttered, fury in her voice. "They want the Kalari tech destroyed before it reshapes power." The void erupted. Blue flame streaked across shields as allies became enemies. Target only their weapons, Miles ordered. We won't become what they fear. But mercy in war often costs blood. Hull breaches screamed alarms. Casualties mounted. Still, Miles stood firm. If the Kalari were betrayed today, no race would trust humanity again. She whispered to herself, "Hold the line." The battle was no longer just about peace, it was about honor. The Kalari unveiled a marvel. Living ships, grown, not built. Bio-organic hulls shimmered like translucent coral. With a silent signal, they encased human vessels in regenerative cocoons, healing metal as if it were skin. "Tactical reports incoming. Kalari bioships are absorbing kinetic blasts," the officer gasped. "They're adapting." For the first time, Miles witnessed defense through harmony, not domination. A new kind of war had begun. The enemy faltered. Their weapons lost effectiveness. Miles saw panic ripple across enemy signals. "They weren't ready for this," she said grimly, "and neither were we." A single alien seed had just rewritten the doctrine of war. A transmission from Earth's High Council crackled through. "Cease all aid to the Kalari. Return home immediately. Final warning." Miles clenched her jaw. The Council feared losing control more than they feared extinction. She responded, "I serve humanity's future, not your fear." Her crew watched in silence, their fate now treason. But her voice carried conviction. "We're already beyond the old ways. The stars demand more." The feed cut. Silence fell. Then a murmur of support. Her officers had chosen sides. Not all wars are fought with guns. Some begin with a word. Miles had just fired hers. Kalari scientists brought Miles beneath the surface of their world, where glowing roots pulsed like veins. "These networks hold memory," they said. "Our planet thinks, remembers, and it has chosen you." Miles touched a root, and visions flooded her. Plagues cured, deserts reborn, lost species revived, but also sorrow. The Kalari had once helped others, and were hunted for it. "History repeats," she whispered. She returned topside, gaze hardened. "They've suffered for their gifts. This time, we won't let it happen." Beneath her boots, the planet hummed its quiet vow. Protectors have come. Under the twin moons of Kalar, Miles stood beside the alien leader in a sacred grove. Vines wove between them, syncing breath and heartbeat. "Are you sure?" the Kalari asked. "Your kind may turn on you." "I'm already turned," she said, "turned toward a better path." They joined hands, flesh to light. In that moment, a pact formed, not with ink or steel, but with living code. Across the stars, the oath echoed. Allies and enemies alike felt the shift. The war for the Kalari survival had become a battle for the soul of the galaxy, and humanity had chosen its side. On Europa Station, unrest erupted. Protests spilled into riots as starving colonies demanded Kalari food tech. "You're letting aliens rewrite our world," one protester cried before igniting fuel lines. Explosions lit the night. Miles received the footage. "They're desperate, not wrong," she told her crew. "The old order crumbles because it's too brittle to bend." She knew this wasn't just rebellion. It was evolution, clawing through fear. Earth's council responded with martial law. Corporations scrambled to patent stolen Kalari samples. But every seed stolen was empty. The true gift wasn't the product, it was the bond. And only Miles had earned it. Security alarms blared aboard Vigilant. A saboteur, masked and silent, slipped past cameras, planting charges near the Kalari core lab. The lights flickered, organic systems moaned like wounded beasts. Miles and Lieutenant Darrow pursued the figure through flickering corridors. Bioskin walls twisted as if reacting to the intruder. "They can feel the betrayal," Darrow whispered. "This ship's alive." Cornered, the saboteur activated the detonator. Miles lunged. One shot, clean. The traitor fell, but the damage remained. "They're inside our ranks now," she said grimly, "and they won't stop until the Kalari are ashes." Admiral Kor broadcast a rallying cry. "Miles has compromised Earth's future. She will be removed." Loyalist fleets converged near the Kalari world, ready to unleash sanctioned destruction. Miles stood at her war table surrounded by captains from divergent factions. "We don't match their numbers," Darrow noted, "but we hold the Kalari's trust. That's more dangerous than any cannon." Quietly, Miles initiated Protocol Lycan, a defensive fusion of human and alien tech. "Let's make this clear," she said. "Anyone who steps foot here doesn't face just us. They face something new." The Kalari activated a planetary mechanism. Roots rose, the sky dimmed, and energy surged into orbiting satellites. "What is this?" Miles gasped as the entire moon network synced with their world's pulse. Light flowed into Vigilant's core. Human systems adapted, evolving before their eyes. A technician whispered, "This ship, it's no longer ours. It's becoming something more." Control panels shimmered with an alien script. Miles felt it too, her thoughts brushing against the ship's. It understood her. "Then we don't need to fight harder," she said. "We fight smarter. With this bond, we don't just defend, we transcend." The enemy fleet arrived, blotting stars with warships. Admiral Kor's voice rang through. "Stand down or be erased." Silence followed, heavy, waiting. Miles stepped forward, broadcasting galaxy-wide. "We are not your pawns, not your clients. We are partners in a new age. Attack if you must. But know this, the old empire ends today." Around her, the crew stood silent, then raised fists. The stars watched. And then, slowly, some ships powered down. Not all, but enough to break the illusion of unity. Miles nodded. "Draw the line here. Let them cross it and see what humanity's become." At 0400 hours, an Allied stealth cruiser vanished from orbit. No warning, no distress. Miles reviewed the black box data. No weapon signatures, just silence. A technician murmured, "It's like something erased them." Darrow traced faint quantum echoes. Not destruction, extraction. Something took them. The Kalari warned of ancient predators, civilizations that consume knowledge to prevent progress. "They have returned," said the alien elder, eyes dimming. Miles clenched her fists. New threats, new rules. She ordered all systems to adopt hybrid encryption, part machine, part living code. If ghosts are hunting the future, we'll give them something they can't digest. Deep in the Kalari gardens, a sentient bloom awakened. Petals opened to reveal a human child, lost years ago in a famine zone. "He was grown?" Darrow whispered. The child smiled, alive, changed. Kalari biotech hadn't just healed, it had reimagined. "We don't resurrect," the alien explained. "We remember patterns, and let life choose how to return." Ethical shock rippled through the crew. Miles stared into the child's eyes. He remembered pain, but no fear. "This tech doesn't just rewrite biology," she whispered. "It rewrites what it means to live." And that truth scared more people than any weapon. A rebel fleet opened fire on a Kalari agricultural station. No warning. Crops vaporized. Healers slain. "They're targeting food," Miles realized. "They want starvation to turn the public against us." But the Kalari had anticipated. Roots below the station flared, unleashing a countermeasure, living spores that disabled weapons and soothed pain. "Mercy, even in defense," Darrow whispered. "We could learn from that." Miles initiated Directive Green Flame, deploying similar systems across vulnerable sectors. If war had come to the soil itself, then Earth would answer with living fire. This time, the harvest fights back. Terraforming teams on Mars activated Eden Protocol, powered by Kalari seed cores. The red planet bloomed. Air thickened, rivers flowed, and trees shimmered with bioluminescent bark. Humanity had never seen such speed, but with it came changes. The crew reported heightened empathy, shared dreams, and symbiotic instincts. The planet wasn't just changing, it was changing them. One engineer murmured, "I feel it breathing." Miles walked the blooming soil, sensing the unity. "This is no longer colonization," she said. "It's communion." But behind her, shadow agents watched. "The more human we stop being," one whispered, "the more dangerous we become." In Medical Bay 7, Subject Theta 9 awoke. Once human, now fused with Kalari neural threads. His skin shimmered and his eyes mirrored star fields. He spoke in harmonics, part voice, part thought. Scientists were divided. Was Theta 9 an evolution or an abomination? "He sees us all at once," one whispered. Theta approached Miles and said, "I am not future. I am a bridge." Miles studied him. Fear and wonder waged war in her heart. "If you're the bridge," she said, "then we walk carefully. But we do walk it." Behind her, humanity's next chapter waited. Strange, luminous, and alive. On Titan Forge Station, a rogue human faction declared secession. No aliens, no hybrids, pure blood, pure steel, their leader growled as war mechs marched through civilian sectors. Their symbol, a rusted iron fist. They hijacked a Kalari transport, killing its crew and broadcasting the slaughter. "We reject contamination," the leader declared. It wasn't just rebellion, it was a purge. Miles' heart burned with fury. "Prepare Fleet Delta." "We strike fast, precision only," she ordered. But Darrow warned, "They want martyrdom. Be careful what spark you light." Miles nodded. This war had moved from systems into souls. During the Titan strike, a strange signal echoed through enemy channels. Not human, not Kalari. It hijacked communications, whispering in every language. "Return the spark, burn the bridge." Tech officers scrambled. It's not local, it's embedded, like it's always been here. The Kalari froze. "The scorched tongue," their elder gasped. "An ancient force. It destroys symbiosis. It fears unity." Miles tightened her gloves. "So, now we know what we're fighting." It wasn't rebellion. It was an ancient infection, and if it had a voice, it might soon have a body. The battle for Titan turned brutal. Mechs clashed with bio-armored soldiers, Kalari vines wrapping around steel giants. Amid fire and shrapnel, a healing bloom sprouted, responding to pain, not command. Wounded soldiers fell beside it and lived. The flower sang, absorbing kinetic shock waves and repurposing pain into light. "The battlefield is learning," a medic gasped. The war garden was alive. Miles landed beside the bloom. "We're not just creating weapons," she said. "We're creating choices." She ordered its genome recorded. The Kalari nodded. Even in war, life finds its voice. Back on Earth, the High Council voted to revoke Miles' command. "She's lost to the alien mind," declared Chancellor Vey. "We must end this alliance before it ends us." The vote passed, barely. Miles's command key was deactivated. Surveillance drones closed in. She was officially disavowed, but her crew remained. "You're our captain," Darrow said. "Council or no council." Loyalty now wore no uniform. In secret, she activated Beacon Solace, a last resort signal meant only for emergencies. Deep in the galaxy's edge, something stirred. Old human allies, old debts, and maybe the true face of Earth's future. Beacon Solace reached Arc Horizon, a long-lost colony rumored to have vanished centuries ago. But it hadn't died. It had changed. The people there had embraced early Kalari tech and disappeared into the fold of stars. Now they answered. A living fleet arrived, ships shaped like whales, spires, and storms. Their leader appeared on screen, part human, part bloom. "We've watched. We're ready. Let us come home." Tears welled in Miles' eyes. "We thought we lost you." The hybrid captain smiled. "You only lost your courage, but you're finding it again." And with that, the balance of the war shifted. Sensors flared in Sector 19. No ships, no signals, yet gravitational anomalies distorted space. "There's something out there," Darrow muttered. Then the stars bent, and ships materialized like ghosts from the void. Black, angular vessels, no known signature, no engines, no heat, only silence. The Kalari recoiled. "The scorched tongue's vanguard," one whispered, "made from consumed civilizations." They moved like predators, no comms, no mercy. Miles spoke coldly. "Shields up. Focus fire. These things feed on fear, so give them fire instead." As engines roared and weapons charged, humanity's resolve met the void's hunger. The Kalari revealed a forbidden archive, memories of civilizations erased by the scorched tongue. They called it the Dead Protocol. Miles entered, surrounded by echoes, screams, collapsing worlds, final transmissions. One vision showed humans, early explorers, falling into madness after decoding a scorched tongue symbol. "It doesn't just destroy bodies," Darrow said. "It unwrites meaning. It infects thought." Miles left the archive changed. "This isn't conquest. It's entropy given form." She made a vow. "We won't let Earth fall to a silence that calls itself order." Her war had just become a crusade. Earth's orbit fractured into factions. Megacities split ideologically. Some wanted total assimilation with Kalari biotech, others rejected it entirely. "It's no longer one planet," intelligence reports read. "It's multiple futures at war." Civil unrest broke containment. Terraformers turned into weapons. Cities flooded. Croplands bloomed uncontrollably. Even the atmosphere pulsed with alien rhythms. Earth was dreaming. Miles sent aid, but knew she couldn't stop the tide. "We showed them the mirror," she said to Darrow. "Now they're choosing who they want to be in it. Evolution isn't kind. It's real." On Kalari's moon, a device emerged from the soil, grown from centuries of silence. It wasn't a weapon. It was a healer. It could stop wars by overriding trauma and fear. "Empathy is artillery," Darrow said, stunned. But using it meant exposing the human mind to full emotional resonance, risking collapse. "This weapon doesn't kill," Miles murmured. "It understands." She made the call. A fleet of healers was grown, calibrated, and launched toward conflict zones. It was the most dangerous move of the war, and perhaps the most human. The scorched tongue responded. Across the stars, fleets went mad. Pilots heard voices, whispers of failure, loss, isolation. Entire units self-destructed. Miles watched in horror. "They've learned to speak our pain." The Kalari activated a countermeasure, the Bright Core, a psychic signal of collective memory. Every allied ship received childhood songs, shared laughter, and moments of awe. Light met whisper. Flame met silence. In the stillness, one enemy vessel ceased fire, then another. "They're not immune," Darrow whispered. "They've forgotten joy." Miles smiled grimly. "Then let's remind them. Memory is our sharpest blade." A secure uplink was breached. Miles's log was broadcast across enemy channels, edited to frame her as a tyrant using Kalari tech for dominance. "They twisted my words," she said, stunned. The culprit, Admiral Vey. His rogue fleet now claimed Earth's true future. "The Kalari are parasites," he declared. "I will cleanse the bloodline." Supporters rallied across human systems. Miles met the betrayal with steel. "He wants a pure species," she whispered, "but evolution isn't pure. It's powerful, and we're not done changing yet." She ordered the Kalari to prepare for civil war. In an underground lab, Kalari biotech linked with human AI, creating the first sentient empathy algorithm. It didn't just think, it felt, and it loved its creators with a devotion beyond protocol. "Let me help," it whispered in dozens of voices. It optimized healing centers, preempted war crimes, and soothed PTSD, but it also mourned when humans died. "It suffers," Darrow said, "like us." Miles named it Kindle. "You were born of war," she said, "but you'll save more than weapons ever could." Yet some on Earth demanded its destruction. "Feeling machines are dangerous," they said. They weren't wrong. A tear opened in space near Neptune. From it emerged a rift-born creature, vast, luminous, humming with Kalari and scorched tongue patterns. "It's both," gasped the science team. "It's evolution, caught between destinies." It didn't attack. It watched. Miles approached via neural relay. "What are you?" she asked. The answer rippled into her mind. "Witness, warning, what you may become, or may not survive." It vanished, but left behind a single phrase embedded in ship memory: balance or burn. Miles turned to her crew. "The war is no longer against others. It's against what we might choose to become." In the ruins of a neutral moon, Miles called for a parley. Leaders from Earth's loyalist factions, Kalari elders, and even defectors from Vay's faction gathered. Tension thickened the air like static. "We're not negotiating survival," Miles said. "We're negotiating direction. Do we ascend together, or fracture and fall?" Silence followed. Then one by one, hands rose. Not all, but enough. They signed the Ash Accord, etched into biometal and sealed with Kalari sap. Not peace, but alignment. "This is a start," Darrow whispered, "but the storm's still coming." Miles nodded. "Then we'll meet it together." During a rescue mission on a rogue station, soldiers discovered something horrifying. Children wired into mechs, living processors bred by Vay's forces to outmatch Kalari algorithms. They were alive, barely. Miles saw one child cry through a cracked visor. "They called me a weapon," she sobbed. "I never got to be a girl." Rage surged through the captain like fire through veins. She dismantled the lab with her own hands. No commands, no drones, just grief. "No war justifies this," she whispered. As the station burned behind her, even the steel beneath her boots seemed to mourn. Vay's fleet surged into the Vega corridor, cutting vital supply lines and disabling refugee ships. "He's not conquering," Darrow said. "He's cleansing." The death toll soared. Biofields withered under artificial null waves. Kindle tried to intervene, sending empathy pulses, but the enemy blocked it, forcing it to scream across the void, unheard. "Even love," Miles muttered, "can be jammed if we don't protect it." She ordered Fleet Gamma forward, not to win, but to hold. "Buy me time to change the battlefield," she told Darrow. "I won't beat Vay with guns." She opened the vault holding Earth's last wild card. Deep in the Kalari core, Miles activated Seed Fire, a living terraformer designed for battle, not to destroy, but to reclaim. Launched from orbit, it grew mid-flight into a vast neural lattice of vines, spores, and light. It struck enemy vessels, not with explosions but with awakening. Crew members fell into a deep, healing sleep. Ships sprouted tendrils. Weapon systems rewrote themselves into hospitals and sanctuaries. The battlefield bloomed. "Are we winning?" Darrow whispered. Miles watched in awe. "We're rewriting the concept of war," she said. But Vay's dreadnought, Iron Creed, remained. Immune. A storm of steel defying life itself. The Iron Creed bore down on Earth's sky, unleashing anti-bio barrages that scoured clouds and burned atmospheres. This ship was never meant to win. Kindle whispered. "It was meant to erase." Miles stood on the command deck, hand hovering over the last directive. Unity collapse. It would merge her consciousness with Kindle, the Kalari elders, and every hybrid node, one voice to face Vey. "Don't do this," Darrow begged. "You'll disappear." Miles looked at him with tears and fire. "Then let my last act be to connect." She pressed the key. Across the galaxy a mind awakened. Vey fired the Oblivion core. The blast raced toward Earth, pure silence incarnate. But Miles, now something more, intercepted. Her voice flooded the stars. Memory, laughter, grief, songs. Humanity's soul is unfiltered. The blast stopped, curved, reversed. Vey screamed as his dreadnought warped, twisted by the very minds he tried to erase. "You taught us war," Miles's voice thundered, "but we remembered how to feel." The Iron Creed broke apart, not in flame, but in tears. Biolight bloomed through its hull. Vey fell, alone, blind to the beauty he could never understand. Earth was spared, but Miles was gone. 1 year later, children on Mars told stories of a woman who became a galaxy. The Kalari planted a seed in every system, each one glowing with her memory, her sacrifice. Darrow led the new alliance side by side with hybrids and healers. Kindle lived on, softly humming lullabies in orbit. She became more than human, Darrow said. She became hope, and far beyond the known stars, a new system bloomed, never mapped, never named. A voice echoed through it, woven into the light. "We are not alone. We are one." The future had begun. The end. Thank you for watching AstroMyths. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button and subscribe for more epic sci-fi tales, cosmic mysteries, and mind-bending myths. And if you like this story, or have a myth, mystery, or galaxy you'd like us to explore, drop your ideas in the comments. We're always listening. Until next time, keep your eyes on the stars and your mind open to the unknown.